All right, guys, if you're gonna bring a deer to get mounted, it's very important you make these cuts. I get a lot of deer, they come up through this leg like this and they come across right here. The mount is gonna go all the way to here. So very important you make this cut. And I also get sometimes they cut them on the inside of the underneath this leg, you're gonna cut on the top. And so you're gonna ring this leg right here. You're gonna follow that white line all the way up through here, and then you're gonna go all the way to here. In fact, you can make this cut here first. You need to go ahead and give yourself plenty of room right here in case you want to do a wall pedestal. But for a shoulder mount, I normally don't need that much, but just give me more than I need. And that's it. Try not to cut holes. When you're cutting it on down this neck right here, some guys want to get all that meat in there, so they cut it right up next to the bone right here. The problem is if you do that, I don't have anything to measure to know how big the neck is. If you'll leave, usually the rule of thumb is leave about 3 inches of neck meat on here. That way I can measure this measurement here and then the swell right here. And that way when I order a form, I know how big to order the form. All right, guys, so we're gonna start about midway up. I don't normally like cutting through hair, but most people are gonna cut through hair. It's a little easier. So however you wanna do that's fine. I like to cut underneath here so you don't get as much hair. And you're gonna start just ringing it, just like I'm doing here. All right. All right, then, same thing here. Gonna take this leg, and we're gonna ring it right there. Now, some people like to tube them out, and for a few wall pedestals, it's fine. It's great to have it tubed out, the legs. But honestly, for most mounts, even some wall pedestals, I'm gonna have to split this anyway, so there's no need to waste time and trying to tube this out. So you're gonna follow that white line, just like that. Just keep following the white line, and when you get out of the white line, go straight up. That's it. That's the cut. That's the cut that most people mess up right there. They cut the brisket. All right, once again, follow the white line and then straight up to there. All right, here's one thing a lot of people do is when they're skinning the deer, they're trying to get all the meat off the cake because they think that that's actually going to help the taxidermist. And there's some meat on here that the processor or whoever's going to do the meat for you, they're going to throw it away anyways. We're just talking about that meat that hangs onto the skin. Don't worry about trying to cut that meat. Don't worry about trying to cut that meat off the skin, because that's how you're going to cut holes. And to be honest, I get a better tan and all if that meat's just left on it, because for whatever reason, when you skin it like that, it makes the cake real bloody, and then I have a lot of blood on the cake. So when you're skinning it like this, if there's red meat on here, even up here on this neck, there's going to be a spot where there's a lot of thick meat. Just leave it on there. I'm going to take that off. Don't. If you're trying to cut it off of there, that's where you're going to cut holes. And I think you might know this, guys, but anytime you're skinning anything for taxidermy, there's a membrane right here. You don't ever want to cut on the white. You actually cut up above the white where the skin is, and you're cutting that membrane loose. The way you cut holes is by cutting down here. and it starts to get tight on this neck. This right here is where you'll cut a hole in this throat, because that skin's way here. It's easy to cut up there, so you want to cut above that white. And it's 3 inches is best, not 10 inches. Sometimes I get a deer that's got all the neck in there and it's frozen. All right, so here's a problem with that. That much meat's hard to freeze, and when you throw it in the freezer and it takes a long time to freeze, what happens is your hide goes bad in the freezer. It's too much meat. So 3 inches. 3 to 6 inches, which is about, see, there's your swell right here. You want to include that. So honestly, I'm past that, so I'm gonna come up just a little bit. I'm gonna start cutting. All right. So if you don't have any of these, and I'm sure you do, most everybody does. You want to hold them out? Yep. This is the best thing to cut this head off with right there. Way easier. It's fine. All right. Then just take it, put it in a garbage bag, tie a knot in the garbage bag, maybe 2 garbage bags, throw it in the freezer. That's it. If you can't get it in a freezer, it's okay to keep it cold for maybe a couple days if you're on a trip. But if you're out of state hunting and you need to cape the rest of the head out, call me, text me. I'll send you some videos. I'll walk you through it on the phone. I'll help you get it caped out like you will need it caped out to get it across state lines or out of CWD areas. But I've had guys bring me a deer. They said, well, I killed this deer 5 days ago and it's just been cool. That's usually not a good thing. You're probably gonna lose the cape on that. So try to get it in the freezer as quick as you can. Riding it around in the back of a truck overnight and all the next day when it's hot outside. Once again, kind of treat it like meat. Would you do that with your meat? If you wouldn't do that with your meat, it's probably a bad idea to do it with your deer. And what's it gonna do? What it will do is the hair will start slipping and falling out in the tanning process, and we'll have to get another cape. So, but that's it. So if you have any questions, let me know, and thanks for watching.